Ask me the hard-hitting questions.
This week on 60 Minutes, we reported on the WNBA, and we interviewed Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has finally addressed her much-discussed move to Europe, and her announcement left the basketball community stunned. Currently making waves with the Indiana Fever, Clark has redefined the energy around the WNBA, sparking a surge in viewership, sold-out arenas, and record-breaking attendance. Clark from deep. Again, the reaction when she launches from the logo: chaos. Pure electricity in the building. Yeah, those long-range shots, when they go in, it's wild, Clark said with a grin. It's a good feeling, not gonna lie. So what goes through her mind when she crosses half-court? Is it a pass, a pull-up, or a drive? The decision-making, she says, happens in seconds. After days of swirling rumors and endless debate online, the WNBA's standout rookie took to Instagram to share her next move. The post, emotional and thoughtful, arrived just days after Indiana's painful playoff elimination at the hands of the Connecticut Sun. Until then, her silence had kept fans guessing. Was this the end of her WNBA rookie run, or simply the beginning of a much larger legacy? That pass. Absolutely pinpoint. Sometimes you just have to launch and pray. People love it, so you give the crowd what they came to see. Clark even broke down the mechanics behind her iconic deep shot. Yeah, it's the same shooting motion mostly, but with a bigger push from my legs, she explained. I'm not the tallest or the most muscular player out there. I'm not even 6 feet. Balance is everything. Ask any great shooter, they'll say the same. It's not just arms. You've got to power up from the ground. Her heartfelt Instagram post did more than announce her future. It reflected on a whirlwind rookie year and sparked a wave of admiration across the league. With every day, the buzz only grew. Last night marked the end of one of the most electrifying basketball journeys we've seen in years. Sure, we'll dive into her rookie WNBA stats, but her final college season at Iowa? Absolutely legendary. She transitioned straight from breaking records in March Madness to shaking up the pro scene. Drafted within days by the Indiana Fever, her arrival was all anyone could talk about, even with the NBA Combine and the Pacers playing just down the road. Stick around, because we're breaking down what Caitlin Clark's rise means not just for Indiana, but for the WNBA at large. Watch closely. 2 defenders follow Clark on the handoff, leaving Boston room to spin and attack. That's the ripple effect Clark has on the floor. Her gravity changes everything. I miss covering women's basketball with you, one analyst said. We don't get to do this enough. Here's the truth. Caitlin Clark's going to be just fine. A few things stand out. She faced this Connecticut squad before. She knows Carrington's speed and defensive IQ. And keep in mind, this is only her 4th game as a professional. She's already been challenged by the league's top defenders, still gets double-teamed, and yet continues to elevate her game. Early on, Indiana was slow, too much dribbling, not enough rhythm. But this isn't Iowa 2.0. This is the pros, and Clark has adapted fast. She's moving smarter. Her teammates are stepping up. She's now getting clean looks off the ball, finding easier shots and not having to fight for every touch. It's clicking. Fewer turnovers, better efficiency. Last night was her sharpest performance yet. Let's not forget, while the Fever are rebuilding, Indiana basketball is alive and buzzing. Between Clark's rise and the Pacers' playoff push, it's a new era. That Instagram post? It wasn't just a status update. It marked a transformational moment. It set a new bar for what a WNBA rookie can be. Clark didn't just meet expectations, she smashed through them. Her impact isn't just measurable in points or assists. It's cultural. It's generational. Last night, ESPN aired a montage of her rookie year as the Fever fell to Connecticut in the playoffs. And in that tribute, they highlighted her record-breaking moment, when she passed Pistol Pete Maravich to become the all-time leading scorer in Division I history, men's or women's. She rewrote every stat book Iowa had. She didn't just play, she rewrote what was possible. Looking back on the last year fills me with nothing but gratitude. Can't wait to see you all in year 2, Caitlin Clark wrote in an emotional post, expressing heartfelt thanks to those who helped turn her childhood dream into reality. And with that, Clark finally confirmed what fans and analysts had been speculating since Indiana's playoff run ended. She's staying right where she belongs. But what made her rookie season so unforgettable? "I'm just really excited to be here," she began, smiling as she addressed a packed room. "I've never had to give a formal opening speech before. This is a first. But truly, thank you to the Indiana Fever, the Pacers, and everyone who's made this moment possible. It's surreal." Clark looked across the room and nodded toward a familiar face. "Tamika Catchings is here today, and that's incredible. She was one of my heroes growing up. When I got drafted, I said it then, and I'll say it again. There's no better place to start my professional career. Indiana breathes basketball. They embrace women's hoops, and the Fever organization has championship DNA. I'm beyond thankful they believed in me." She smiled again, referencing her family. "My parents are here, although my younger brother couldn't make it. He had to return to school, and yes, he missed his flight from New York after the draft. I'm convinced he did it on purpose," she joked, prompting laughter from the crowd. "But seriously, I'm incredibly grateful. I feel lucky every day to be here, and I can't wait to begin this next chapter." Her rookie season was historic. Clark shattered 62 records, leaving a mark not just on the stat sheets, but on the sport itself. Her presence on the court didn't just rewrite numbers, it redefined the WNBA's momentum. "She didn't just make history, she changed the entire landscape," said analysts, as the sports world tried to catch up with her impact. During a media Q&A, Indianapolis Star's Greg Doyle opened with a light moment. "You like that?" "I do," Clark laughed. "I do that after games with my family. We're gonna get along just fine." Then came the real question. "You didn't have to go pro right away. A lot of us assumed you would. But how much did Indiana being close to Iowa and earning the number one pick influence your decision?" Clark nodded. "Honestly, it was a big factor. The night of the draft lottery, I was actually in the middle of a game. I can't even remember who we were playing. But I remember hoping Indiana got that top pick. It would have made everything smoother for me. And when I found out they did, yeah, I was excited. Of course, that wasn't the only reason I decided to go pro, but it definitely mattered." Later, the numbers from her rookie campaign left analysts scrambling for comparisons. Clark averaged 19 points per game, an elite figure for a newcomer. But she didn't stop there. She put up 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. Her 337 total assists, that set a WNBA rookie record, proving not only could she score, but she could elevate everyone around her. Caitlin Clark didn't just arrive. She exploded onto the scene, altering the game's trajectory and turning belief into performance. But there's more to Caitlin Clark's story. When she recorded a staggering 19 assists in a single game, it wasn't just a highlight. It was undeniable proof of her elite court vision and playmaking IQ. And if that wasn't enough, Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to notch 2 triple-doubles, an accomplishment that instantly set her apart from every newcomer before her. In truth, Clark didn't just join the league. She flipped the entire landscape, turning every court into her personal stage. Her impact went far beyond the numbers. Her arrival was exactly the jolt Indiana needed. A struggling Fever franchise found a heartbeat again, and with Clark leading the charge, they were suddenly relevant, competitive, and exciting. Her performance has been so overwhelming that only one sportsbook, BetMGM, is still offering odds on the Rookie of the Year race. And even they have her listed as the runaway favorite at plus 10,000, essentially declaring the contest over. And just last night, she added another milestone to her already historic campaign. Her 86th three-pointer of the season, the most ever by a rookie in WNBA history. The previous record, held by Ryan Howard in 2022. Clark didn't just break it, she redefined it. With her steering the offense, Indiana surged to a 2020 record, marking their first 20-win season since 2015. And more importantly, the Fever secured a playoff berth for the first time in 8 years. That's not just growth, it's a full-blown transformation. Clark has breathed new life into the fan base. Attendance numbers spiked, merchandise flew off shelves, and suddenly, the Fever were one of the most watched teams on television. Her effect wasn't just basketball, it was cultural. The all-time record for three-pointers in a season is currently 128, held by Sabrina Ionescu. With 9 games left, Clark only needs to average a little over 4 threes per game to break it. And if the Fever go deep into the postseason, that goal looks very possible. But it's not just her shooting. Her assists, her triple-doubles, and her leadership have altered the rhythm of the WNBA in real time. And still, despite all this dominance, there's ongoing debate over who deserves Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese has made a compelling case with her rebounding, setting both WNBA and NBA benchmarks with her insane board numbers per game. But when you take the entire body of work into account, the choice becomes obvious. Clark isn't just excelling, she's rewriting what a rookie season looks like. Her dazzling style of play not only helped Indiana win critical games, but also helped them win the hearts of fans across the country. She didn't just elevate her own brand, she elevated the league. In her second career triple-double, Clark posted 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, and analysts took note. What stood out most? For many, it was the way Clark and the Fever kept their cool. Despite 11 first-half turnovers, Indiana settled in and eventually forced more turnovers than they gave up, flipping the game script and showing they could adjust mid-game, a huge sign of maturity. Even when Odyssey Sims dropped 20 points for a struggling Sparks squad, Indiana didn't panic. They stayed grounded, played with poise, and came away with the win. That resilience says a lot for a young team with playoff dreams already realized. In nearly every contest, Clark created opportunities for her teammates, stretching defenses, commanding double teams, and opening passing lanes that most rookies don't even see, let alone use effectively. Commentators raved about Indiana's backcourt, calling it the hottest duo in the WNBA since the Olympic break. The chemistry was clear, the rhythm unstoppable. Many experts said early on that the Fever would need time. This wouldn't be an overnight miracle. It would take reps, it would take losses, it would take growth. This wasn't going to be instant coffee. It had to be bold like Cuban espresso, one analyst joked. And that's exactly what we're seeing. A young squad finding its identity, with back-to-back #1 draft picks growing into stars. The accolades came quickly. The records fell even faster. Caitlin Clark is now considered the near-unanimous WNBA Rookie of the Year. Her closest competition? Angel Reese, who, it's worth noting, led all players in All-Star Game fan voting, a massive testament to her impact and charisma on the court. But even with all of that in mind, ESPN's Ryan Ruocco might have said it best during a broadcast. Caitlin Clark is possessed. And he wasn't exaggerating. There were moments she looked unstoppable, almost unconscious out there. And honestly, he nailed it. This was one of those performances you just have to respect, no matter who you were rooting for. You couldn't be mad at Caitlin Clark. You couldn't criticize her. There was literally nothing to nitpick. She played a flawless game, checked every box, and silenced even the harshest critics. That's why Kim Mulkey embraced her so fiercely at the final buzzer. It was the kind of hug that says, "I hate how good you are, but I respect the hell out of it." That kind of moment? It's real. It's raw. You know when someone daps you up hard, not out of anger, but because they're forced to acknowledge brilliance? That was the energy. Clark was calm, composed, confident. She read the defense like a chess master, shifting defenders left and right, attacking her spots with purpose. And once again, she proved she could not only compete with the league's elite, she could outsmart and outplay them. And if you ask what went wrong for LSU, the answer's simple. They let her find rhythm early. Anyone who watches the women's game knows Clark favors her left side drive, and when she gets there, she's usually pulling up. And yet, LSU's defenders kept going under the screen, giving her room. Why not fight over the top? Why surrender that space to a sniper? What Clark did was exactly what we've come to expect. She confirmed what everyone already knew. She's the NCAA's all-time leading scorer for a reason, and she brought that dominance straight into the WNBA spotlight. The pressure on her shoulders was immense, coming straight out of college, with the hype machine at full throttle. And still, she exceeded expectations. She didn't just survive the moment, she owned it. Let's be clear, the Rookie of the Year conversation? It's over. The Fever have now won 4 straight and are above .500 for the first time in 2 years. A team that was once overlooked is now a contender. In her last 12 games, Clark is averaging 23.4 points on 47% shooting, the second highest scoring average in the league, just behind the unstoppable force that is A'ja Wilson, the reigning 2-time champ and likely MVP again. A comparison? Some analysts say Clark's court awareness, swagger, and clutch play mirror legends like Larry Bird. And maybe they're not wrong, but more importantly, Clark has redefined what's possible for a rookie. She's lifted the bar sky high, drawing parallels to icons like Stephen Curry and the late great Kobe Bryant. Players like them didn't just play, they evolved the game. And that's what Clark is doing now.